doing, everybody? DommyGun Reach you here for Who-Bangin Sports Talk. Super Bowl banging tip of the day. It's getting close now. Only 4 days left to the Super Bowl, and we're going to just go over something with the quarterbacks. And again, talk about some of the props and some ways you could look at the props. Just a little information to help you out. Me personally, I'm not a prop player like I mentioned in yesterday's pro tip of the day, but I do like to put in a few props for the Super Bowl like we all do. So, but keep some of these things in mind. If you listen to yesterday's prop tip, you should go back and listen to it because it talks about the value in the plus or the minus prop bet and where you should really look. So take a listen to that one. But for today, let's just talk about quarterbacks. Two great quarterbacks this year, pretty well matched. Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Listen, Mahomes, number one this year in passing yards, 5,250. Eagles, number one overall in net passing yards allowed. So one has to give, doesn't it? Let's just talk about a little bit of stuff about 57 Super Bowls, 56 in the books. In the last 13 Super Bowls, 17 of them. In the last 13 Super Bowls, 17 of the last 26 starting quarterbacks have thrown at least one interception. And seven of them have thrown two interceptions. Last year, as we remember, Matthew Stafford did throw two. The winning quarterbacks have thrown at least one interception in 7 of the last 13 Super Bowls. The losing quarterback has thrown at least one interception in 10 of the last 13 Super Bowls. So there have been interceptions thrown in the Super Bowl. You know, a total number of, if you can get over 1.5 of a total number would be a great number. Don't know if you can find something like that. But, yeah, according to this data, there's been at least, at least that happening. So a fun fact, though, the last Super Bowl with 0 interceptions, Rams, again, versus the Titans, 1999, so that's a long time ago. 1999, no interceptions in that game. Let's see what else we could find for you. The correlation in between during the year of interceptions, like in the regular season, 80% of the quarterbacks who had an interception rate of 1.5% of lower in the regular season threw a pick will obviously throw a pick in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is 1.3% in that season. So, of course, as most of you know me, I was going to screw up at least one of these stats. But basically, what we're saying is that a quarterback in the regular season who has a 1.5% or lower interception rate, 80% of them will throw an interception in the Super Bowl. Just a little fun fact that doesn't really probably amount out to much. But here's my pro tip. Here's something that could help you, something that makes it a little bit more fun and you don't have to risk so much money. Parlays. I'm not a parlay player. I don't believe in really making parlays as a mainstay of your betting, repertoire. I would say maybe 5% of my bets, and I'm a value player. 5% of my bets maybe is a parlay, and out of that, 95% of those are 2-teamers. Very rarely is there a 3-teamer. But when I do a 3-teamer, it's in something like this, in a Super Bowl. And then let me explain. What I do is and I've been doing this for a while, and have luckily cashed in the Super Bowl 3 out of 4 times that I've done this. I take parlays and I hook them into the team that I like in the Super Bowl. So far now I have 3 working. And I've done them all with college basketball, only because I've been on a little bit of a roll with college basketball. So, and I've taken some, nothing big, no big, big odds or anything like that. What I done was find some teams that were -1, -2, or a money line in that 110, 115 range, and hooked them up with the team I like in the Super Bowl, which is, I'm not telling you yet, but what I did was I hooked them up a few times, and I got 3 now open so far. 2 at plus 200, 204, 2 of them at the same price. And they were both with a college game at -2, at a -110, with the money line in the Super Bowl team that I like. And then last night, because I hit 2 already, and they're small parlays, full disclosure, they're small parlays, they're $50 parlays, the 2 that I made. But because I had the 2 already in my hand at a plus 410, a profit price, I took 100 last night and put it on a 3-teamer. And one of it was Kansas, who had I took the money line minus 200, which I'll never bet at minus 200, no matter how you tell me that if you risk, you're only you're risking only your same unit and you'll win a half a unit, all that, however you want to look at it. Risking 2 units to win 1, that's just not the way I get. Listen, there's a lot of stats that point to that. You could be profitable playing that way, but you really need that big bankroll to do that, and that's not, it's not the way I play. I'm just a grinder. It's not the way I play. But what you can do is hook those teams up into. So last night I got lucky. I had Kansas minus 200, and I had North Colorado at minus 1. Minus 110. Only I had the minus 1 only because I couldn't find the money line in the book that I was using last night. So that's what I did. I have 3 open plays now with a team. I have a plus 410 and 2 plus 204s working on one team. Now I'm going to try to do that 2 more times, and I can have a nice big money line number on one team and with the perfect hedge on the other side. And that's my plan for the Super Bowl, because these teams are so close. They're so, no matter, this point spread says that they're so close, but even if the point spread was different, if it was larger, it's still, they're in the Super Bowl. Anything can happen. These teams are there for a reason. So the close match, it's always, I could hedge the other side. And if it's done properly, if this line moves a little bit more, hopefully then it does, moves a little bit more, there'll be a bigger way to take a hedge and possibly middle and collect it all. But at least I could be free rolling. That's my tip of the day. It's a little bit off, it's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit off, what the norm that you would hear. But if you think about it, it's a good way to invest a little bit of money and, have some extra money going on the Super Bowl. Like we talked about yesterday, we all love to have a little bit extra money in the Super Bowl. So until tomorrow, we'll have another banging tip of the day. This is DommyGun for Who-Bangin Sports Talk.